this is Takisha. My name is Takisha. I'm coming to you from my kitchen. The purpose of this recording, I am trying to articulate or get some things out of a message because we did a walk yesterday for Black infant mortality awareness. And I just wanted to touch base with something. So since I'm a long-winded, I am not doing an Instagram live. I'm recording this and hoping to put it out maybe in chunks. I don't really know how to edit anything. Or I might just put it on Facebook and you just watch it there. Maybe we can share it. So my name is Takisha Miller. If you know me, I am someone who runs. I run Families for Equity here in New Jersey. We do events in northern New Jersey, maybe central New Jersey, depending on where that starts and ends and how you feel about that. But that's not the purpose of Families for Equity. The purpose is to be a Black presence within the natural parenting community and to uplift the voices of marginalized groups. So if you don't know, now you know. If anything that relates to alternative or natural parenting, we are all about that. So you want a cloth diaper, you can hit us up. We'll help you out with that. You want a baby wear? We are very passionate about baby wearing. Breastfeeding, so not only do we support breastfeeding, we're advocates for breastfeeding. We also help to run a group, Chocolate Milk Cafe, which is a Black-centered breastfeeding support group, peer-to-peer led. We meet at the Shining Baraka Women's Resource Center on Mondays, second Mondays and second Thursdays. We also help to organize events. This shirt is from our Black Breastfeeding Week event that happened at the end of August. So we're doing things in the area. We partner with a lot of different organizations. I'm hoping to get on our website and add those things. We also are very active in our homeschooling community. We have a Homeschoolers of Color group. I encourage you to check that out if you're interested in homeschooling. We are all for informed choices all across the board. I feel like I need to say this because there's some discrepancies when you get into social justice issues where some people don't actually include things like vaccinations and other choices that we make for our family, even free range parenting, which basically means that we allow our kids to be whole humans, decolonizing, all those different words. So we're into liberation. Hit us up if you want to know more information. We also have a blog, frame of reference that I do with my associate who runs the Homeschools of Color group. And we're just out here doing whatever we can. I am also, Families for Equity is also in alliance with Black Mamas Matter Alliance. We are a kindred partner. So, like I said, we're doing things. So we here in New Jersey, Families for Equity, Majuto Wellness, Perinatal Health Equity, Baby Please, Chocolate Milk Cafe, Sisters Who Breastfeed, all of these different organizations have decided to come together. And we are we have done this, but we want more. The New Jersey Birth Justice Collective, I keep forgetting all the little words, whatever, because there's so many things going on here in New Jersey. Well, we want to be a collective of Black-led organizations that are trying to enact change in New Jersey for the infant and maternal mortality rates. They are very high here. The disparities are very huge gaps in the disparities. And we want to take some time out to really get you to understand. We did a walk yesterday. We walked 4.07 miles in Newark. We walked from Newark Beth Israel to University Hospital to Newark City Hall. And we intend to do this frequently. Once a year, we are joining Uzazi Village. This is their 7th annual walk, and they're walking between the hospitals in Kansas City, Missouri, and we want to raise awareness as well here in New Jersey. And we kind of co-op a lot of different movements that are happening around around the country because we believe in them, and we want to raise awareness here, and we want to also channel back to what's happening like in the other areas, and we want to be one unit. So we all believe in the same things, but we also want to make sure that those changes are happening here in New Jersey. And I know you hear the DOH and other places in New Jersey are doing things. There's lots of conferences. There are lots of initiatives happening. There's money being thrown all over the place, but it's not really affecting our community. It's not going to the community leaders. We are out here struggling for childcare. We are out here struggling for gas. I'm sorry, I keep bringing that up. We're struggling to make sure that we engage with our community, and we're putting our lives, our families, our everything on the line to make these things happen because we really care about these things. So we don't have any money, and we're still doing it. Do we really need to be breaking the banks? Probably. I know you thought I was going to say no, right? But that's because we deserve this. We deserve to be acknowledged for our work, and we deserve to not be struggling just to save our community. So I'm just going to go over the talking points that I did share on Facebook and that I want to, because I don't want to get lost in the message that we just walked and we chanted and we made an impact, I feel like, because we did engage with the community in New Jersey. But it wasn't just about the walk. It wasn't just about the day. We are continuing this. This is not a one-time thing. We do a lot of different things. This is not for the gram. That's not what's happening here. In case you think that, and in case you want to correlate us to other organizations, that's not what's happening here. What's happening here is that we're trying to disrupt. We're trying to make a change. And we're screaming, listen to us. We want to be heard. So, so with that said, we need funding. We need money. We do. We really do. As someone who organizes chocolate milk cafe meetings, we don't have... We're in a good spot. I love the Shanu Baraka Women's Resource Center. It's a great space. But we're honestly not getting enough people coming to our space. So either that means the time isn't right, the location isn't as accessible as it needs to be, or we're just not offering the right thing. So if we wanted an additional location, because we don't want to just serve Newark, like I said, I live further south. And I'm willing to, Union County, Somerset County, Middlesex County, wherever there are Black people, I want to be there. We can end up in Camden, but there's a sisters who breastfeed down there, so we're not necessarily trying to impact areas that are already starting change. We want to grow and spread ourselves throughout New Jersey because support needs to happen everywhere for us especially. So yeah, so funding. We need funds. We need you to go into your pocket a little bit and give us some change, you know. We have a pledge. If you go to familiesforequity.com/black-infant-mortality/awareness-walk, there's a lot of whole thing. I can share it. But if you go on Family for Equity's website, we have a projects tab, and it'll show you the Black Infant Mortality Awareness Month. And all the way at the bottom of that description, our letter stating what our plan was, you will see a pledge button. I can share that as well. If you're on Facebook, you've probably seen it. Click that pledge button and fill out the form. There are a few different tiers of how you can donate to us. You can also say screw all that and just go PayPal and Families for Equity at gmail.com and just drop us a few coins. That would be lovely. If you submit through the pledge, we have a few different tiers where we have some gifts that we can give you to entice you to actually donate, because you know, one $500 donation will help us a lot. There's $100, there's $50, there's $25, and there's even $5. If you want a shirt, if you saw the shirts that we were wearing yesterday, I'm happy to be wearing my Black Breastfeeding Week shirt because this is what I started off the walk in, and when I got my yellow Black Infant Mortality shirt before that, I thought that would be a little redundant to wear today. If you want a shirt, you have the minimum $25. You get a shirt. We are also starting some new project, and it requires some research, and we're offering the Black Women, the Battling Over Birth book a report for Black women birthing justice. And we suggest that you do those as well. The $500 tier will get you a what's it called? An advocate library kit. So there's a couple of books that we're adding to that we recommend. And we're just really out here trying to get it going. Like I said, any donation is good. Families for Equity, we don't have much range for a lot of things, so we are just using our little PayPal account. Nothing really major. If I'm putting this out there, I did not check first. If you want a more official way of donating, there is a Perinatal Health Equity Foundation. They are in New Jersey. They're a nonprofit. They're a 501c3 nonprofit. If you want to claim it on your taxes, whatever, you can donate through them. Let them know why you're donating to them because of this cause, and which is fine because we're all in community together. So before I start everything, I want to read a quote that we did not get to read yesterday. I don't think so, at least. I didn't hear it read, so I'm just going to start off there. Maybe I'll put it a little closer to me. We should be looking at not just the streets and the police and the prison system and how Black people are losing their lives there. But actually, we should be looking within our maternal healthcare system and the unnecessary deaths happening both happening there, both for Black women and infants. Sorry, I messed that up a little. This is a quote from Chinyere Opara. She's a co-founder of Black Women Birthing Justice in Oakland, California. We also have a link there on this form if you saw it where I posted it on social media. I'm going to put this on our website too. You can go to Black Women Birthing Justice website, check them out. We really highly support them. You can even go to Black Mamas Matter Alliance and see what they're doing. Their social media, they share everything from all the kindred partners and all that's going on, and I think you should check that out. We are trying to, and also Uzazi Village. Uzazi Village, we really are in gratitude to them for starting this and really the things that they're doing. Mama Hakima over there is the one that's training the community doulas here in New Jersey. She is the brainchild behind Chocolate Milk Cafe. So we really support what's going on in Kansas City, Missouri. And I think you should check that out too. So back to what's happening here in New Jersey. Like I said, I didn't say the purpose for yesterday. Black infants in New Jersey. Like New Jersey's, I want you to hear this, okay? So stats are a little funky and I'm not really into remembering everything, and I kind of sort of forget exactly what the numbers are when I'm thinking of like statistics. But real talk, if you take all the 50 states nationally, New Jersey's infant mortality rate is not so bad. It's not so bad. But if you start breaking it down by race, and I want you to understand that they're not breaking it down by race of the infant alone, or like per se, they're breaking it down by the race of the mother. So babies of Black women and babies of white women, I'm going to do it that way, are dying at a larger rate, 3 to 4 times more likely. So even if in 2015, if 137 babies that were born by Black women died, and 137 babies born by 137 babies born by white women died in 2015, because we are a smaller population of Black people in New Jersey versus white people in New Jersey, our statistics per 1,000 of us, even though we equate the same amount, is like 9.1 whatever versus theirs being like 3 point whatever. So we are 3 times more likely to die while giving birth than our white counterparts, and whatever more times for every other counterpart, because there's no other race at the level that we are in New Jersey. Nationally, Black infants, Black women, indigenous infants are dying at higher rates than the whole entire. And then you have Hispanic, not white, not Black Hispanics, because I feel like Black Hispanics are right under the Black. So if you look like me, if your skin is of a certain hue, you are at more risk of having complications and dying and not being heard, not being listened to, not having your bodily autonomy be respected. Hold. So, yeah, so there's a little graphic to show that, and like I said, that's identified by the race of the mother. So we do have non-black mothers with black spouses. That we don't know where those statistics are going. They're not really identifying the infant. They're identifying the infant by way of the mother. So it's important to know. We want to kind of take note of that statistics because I know it's a toss up between how you identify and how you are identified by others. So we want to bring that to light. All right. So first topic. In case you missed it, what's the issue in New Jersey with black infants? I kind of went over that a lot. New Jersey has the third largest disparity. That's my kids, sorry. Jonathan. Disparity between rates. New Jersey has the third largest disparity between rates among white and black mothers among U.S. states. What this means is that although it may look like New Jersey is improving our overall infant mortality rates, black babies are still dying 3 to 4 times the rate of white babies. So there is this change happening in New Jersey, doulas for all, Medicaid, all these things. But, little birdie told me that you can't be high risk for some of these things. Medicaid payout is a little fuzzy. Your doulas can't be just any run-of-the-mill private practicing doula for you to qualify for those things. I wouldn't qualify for those things. I'm in a different tax bracket than some. That's important to highlight because, we're doing this work in Camden and Trenton, Atlantic City, and Newark. Those are like the target areas of higher rates of infant mortality, but that doesn't mean that middle class, if middle class even exists, even upper class, if I'm a celebrity or a millionaire or whatever, that doesn't mean that I don't run the risk. You hear stories of the other celebrities. I'm not going to name them here because we all know, especially if you're doing this work. They're still at risk. Doesn't matter. Like my voice being heard. Informed, no matter how informed I am, that doesn't mean that I am at less risk. Having a doula decreases your rates, but that doesn't mean that it's not an uphill battle. That doesn't mean there aren't still challenges in that. It's not like call up that doula and that you have to decide you good. That's not how it works. It's just still so much more to it. Definitely have a doula. Do not sleep on having a doula, but we need to keep the conversation going on. That's not the only thing you do. And these rates aren't that you're dying during childbirth alone. It's not that you're at risk of dying just from being in the hospital. These statistics are collected within the first year. So postpartum care is also very important. Checkups. Gotta go to your doctor. If you have any issues, you need to address them. You need to call someone, let someone know that you're struggling. Postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety. We need to acknowledge that if you see someone that just had a baby and they're not doing so well, check on them. Or even if they're doing well, check on them. Make them a meal. Postpartum care is important, guys. We have a postpartum care, a 4th trimester care kit that you can purchase from Families for Equity. We have some items, I'll post those as well, that we use as our fundraiser. They're made by people of the community, and we could use you hitting us up to buy some of those things so we can raise money. That's another way to fundraise. We have other ways of fundraising, like you could just see me on the street, hand me $1. I don't care. Just let me know what it's for, because I might use it for my gas. No, I'm joking. So, number 2, why walk this route? So, I'm sorry, I want to keep on what I did. I can talk to you forever about my feelings about this since I'm comfortable in my own home. I'm about to start doing some work for a project for my kids. Their birthday's coming up. So, why we walk this route? We walked, like I said, from Newark Beth Israel to University Hospital to Newark City Hall. And that route was because Newark is one of the 4 cities, including Atlantic City, Trenton, and Camden. The 4 cities, the New Jersey Department of Health has identified as having the largest infant mortality rates. We are walking between the 2 hospitals where the largest percentage of members of our community birth. And then to City Hall, because we wanted to let City Hall be in on, the fun. Giving us an opportunity to engage the community along the way and gather their thoughts and opinions pertaining to these statistics and what needs to change to improve our outcomes. So we wanted to, get the ball rolling on that. All right, I'm seeing that I'm at like 20 minutes or so I'm going to try to get through the rest of these because I want you to actually watch this. I don't want you to race through. I can see if I can cut it up so it's a little more digestible. So where are the donations going? This is important because I'm asking you for donations. I'm asking you to fundraise. We're fundraising. I'm asking you to please send us some coins because it's important. It's not just I don't want your money just because it's not nobody's salary. We're not going to pay this. We're not trying to go out for drinks afterwards or anything like that. Just so you know, because I know when it's a black face asking for money, y'all want to quantify it. Y'all want to know how we're going to use the funds. We need all these questions answered. I know that. So I got you. Donations will be distributed to Black-led organizations and groups that are contributing to the improvement of Black maternal and infant health in New Jersey. You got that? So if you have to look up an answer to anyone that does not have a brown face, who's not identified as Black or African American, we're not trying to support that. You got that, right? Because if you're working as an ally, you know that the chain of command needs to be someone of the community that is Black doing this work. We're at risk. We need to be in charge of our own lives. If you are Black and you work within the birth world and you think you're doing similar work, you can send us a message. But I'm gonna save that for a minute. Many of us are often overlooked by well-known foundations and funding sources. Our efforts are to help funders identify the community leaders doing the work in New Jersey. Funders often give to the same organizations who are known for doing the same work regardless of the outcome. And when I say same work, that means year one, we received funding for this program. No matter the outcomes that enact the actual lives of the people we are serving, we still get funding the next year to do the same work because the data that we're collecting and that we're looking at and the quantifiers that we have are not the same that relate to why we are doing this work. So if you're saying that Black people are dying because they're not being heard and because they aren't being informed and because their lives aren't really a factor, those things are not what's held into account. What's held into account is, did this person follow through with the questions that we wanted answered? Did they do the things the way they did? Did they listen to their doula the way we wanted them to listen to their doula? Did they get all their shots? Did they follow all of the protocol that we put in place? Whether or not it is expected to change the outcome of their lives, they need to follow these rules. So that's a problem because that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying your life matters and you need to follow the guidelines that work for you. If you want to birth at home, you have that right. If you want to birth in a hospital because you feel safe, I'm not even going to go if you want a C-section because that's from some informed whatever. But if you want epidural, get the epidural. Just know the risk that happen. If you want to vaccinate your baby, vaccinate your baby. But understand the risks that are involved. Don't let anybody just tell you do it just because. Let them give you those sheets, understand what's in the products that you're putting into your body, understand the risks that are taken. They tell you all the time that C-sections are better because your baby is turned whatever, but they don't tell you the risk of the C-section. I've had two. Not one doctor has told me the risk that for the C-section on my life, or repeat C-sections if I happen to have another kid. So stay informed with that. Ask your doulas. Ask people that you don't think have the same opinion as you on everything. Just keep going. All right, so regardless of it's time for that change. We want the money. If you're funding DOH, anybody looking to fund someone doing work, we black-led organizations. I'm not saying me, Fairness for Equity. There are other organizations that I think deserve money over me necessarily. Not that I want to take it to do the things that I want to do, but there's tons of things that I want to do that just need funding. But there's tons of times that I've been offered funding and it rescinded for whatever reason because I don't fit the narrative that they want to progress. So we want that change. We want you to just not even ask any questions like, oh, you're doing work in the community, you're identified, I see your name out there, I see these things you're doing. Here's a dime for you. Here's some money to do what you think is right for your community. Trust. Oh my God. Trust. Yeah. Anyway. So a portion of the funds we raise will help to fund research done by us for us. That's that research thing. I'm telling you, we're gonna be doing our own research. Don't tell me that you want to have some support group or not support group, market research group where you ask a bunch of questions. If you come to me, Families for Equity, asking me if I want to be part of a survey, I'm gonna ask you what you're doing with that survey. What are the questions you're asking? How are they being executed? Let me know that stuff. What do you plan to do with that information? Because just because you're offering some food doesn't mean that you are actually for the people. And there's some people, I'm not saying everybody, and this is not all whatever. But yeah, anyway, go on. Let me finish. I do this a lot. If you know of any black-led organizations, I said these things already, are support groups that are effectively working to improve the black maternal and infant health outcomes in New Jersey, email NJ Birth Justice Collective. Their name, we want to know the name of the organization. We want to know who to contact, who's the person that is doing these things, the person at the top or whatever. An email address would be nice, even a phone number would be nice, and a blurb, like tell us what's going on. Like we need to know what they're doing. And I'm sorry, I do not think that people who are for-profit qualify in the same ways for this. But we can talk still. That doesn't mean that we're not open to conversation. But like really think about the ones that are enacting change, that are doing the work. I don't want to spend too much time on that. So njbirthjustice@gmail.com. Please send us a message. If you want to be involved in the work that we're doing, if you want to help us organize our next event, we would love that. Okay, hold on a second, kid. If you are, so we do, I just mapped it out. We do Black Maternal Health Week because we support Black Mamas Matter Alliance and their initiative. We do Families for Equity does Black Baby Wearing Week. We did it this year. It wasn't that great. We have it on our calendar. Maybe we'll try to do more next year. Black Breastfeeding Week is a big one for us. And this infant mortality awareness walk is very important. I went to toy with World Doula Week, which is in March. And we have a project that we have going on. We are trying to do our own research project, so that requires some support as far as locations to meet. If you have a location that you would like to supply to us, that would be wonderful and appreciated. We even have workshops that we want to do. We don't have space to do them. Multiple spaces, like not just Essex County, please. If you're not in Essex County, oh, kids are so loud. That is not a deal breaker because I travel. And what else do we need? Childcare. So when we start doing this research, we want the families to actually be able to make it. So they need childcare at the event. We can utilize. I would love to have like a child care community. So if I can hit somebody up and ask them if they can watch someone's kids, and we have funding to pay them, and the parents don't have to worry about that, you have no idea how amazing that would be. By the way, and like if you are interested in doing childcare, let me tell you that I will not support anyone who is not into gentle parenting and the autonomy of children. It's not a do as I say community over here. You need to read Stacy Patton's book, Spare the Kids. If you're not up on gentle discipline, if you're not up on nonviolent communication, please don't get involved. I don't want you. If you don't have proper transportation, that would be tricky. So yeah, so childcare, food, snacks. You know, sometimes we do these at some inopportune time. Sometimes we're gonna be. These talks can go longer than 2 hours. It can go up to 4 hours. Feeding people would be really great. And I'm not talking about full course meals or anything, but we do like to eat and want healthy foods, healthful foods. A lot of people in our circles can be vegetarians or vegan or plant-based or gluten-free. Other allergens can be involved, so that's something to think about if you have food to donate. Jumping back into Family for Equity's postpartum care packages, I'm going to just put this out there. We would love to supply people with gift cards for things, so that would be great to add to our support. So think about that. Gift cards would be amazing. I'm even talking about restaurant gift cards if you can hit that up or whatever. So those are in our bag. You can talk to me all day about all the ideas that I have of things we would love to do if funding wasn't an issue. So donations. We're fundraising. We're trying to bring in some money so that we can do the work that we're trying to do, because we're all not able to use our own money. Because if you think about it, that doesn't make for a sustainable model. And I'm not for profit, so I don't have any extra funds laying around. I'm using whatever gas money I'm borrowing from this. I'm making ends meet to make these things happen. So a lot of people in my position are doing the same thing, and I want you to consider that. What does it take for you to be part of a community event? Clothing. You have to make sure you have clean clothes or the right clothes. Make sure, like your hair done, but look manageable. Do you have to put gas in your car? Do you have to coordinate when you're going to eat in relation? If it's early in the morning, you have to leave out. You have the snacks to bring with you on the road. Make sure that you're hydrated. If you're out all day, how do you eat? Do you have to pack a meal the night before and coordinate that? And as a parent, that's kind of hard. There's a lot of things that go into that. Hard. The amount of time that goes into planning and organizing. It took us a lot of hours of WhatsApp conversations in the middle of the night, emails, back and forth, editing, finding the research. If you see our WhatsApp, how many links we had to share with each other, I didn't read them all. But you know, it's what we had to do to get this done. And we didn't start planning this until the beginning of September because we had other things going on. We have lives. I'm a homeschool parent. I'm involved in other community things. There are things expected of me. Even just the word parent. You have to get your house in order. My house looks horrible. I would love a cleaning person to come in and clean up my house. Like bathrooms, like everything. My kids just have things all over the place. I can't even tell you. And this is me talking. I have 3 children. They're small, 7 and about to be 5-year-old twins. What about other people? I'm talking from my experience because I know my experience is not exclusive to just me. I just want you to understand that the sacrifices that I have to make are sacrifices that other people have to make. My husband is trying to probably have a conversation with me, but I'm doing this recording right now, so I can't engage with him until I'm done. So this is sacrifice, you know? Anyway, so now what? What can be done to make some changes now? Listen to Black women. Listen to this recording. Finish it to the end. Understand what I'm saying. Take it in. reflect on it. Talk to other people about this. Send the message along. Don't need to back up what I'm saying. Use me as a resource. Like, what I'm saying is valid. You don't need to find a white person online or another person that you validate more or you appreciate more or respect more to quantify the words that are coming out of my mouth. Support black women. Support. It doesn't have to be financially, but we all know that financially is important, because if that wasn't the case, we wouldn't be looking to fund all these other spaces. Pay black women. Support and pay. Two different things. Mean the same thing sometimes. But let's go back to support for a second. How can you support? How can you support without just sending money? Send money, but also amplify this voice. You're supporting black women. You're amplifying our voices. Takisha said, when I understand, or what I learned from this, Jillian told me, and I understand this, Nastasia is doing this, and I understand from her. Like, use our names, our voices, Michelle, all of these people, Alina, Chris, I'm going to hit y'all all up. I use my sister a lot. I say my sister. Her name is LaShonda, but I say her name a lot when I speak in breastfeeding spaces or whatever. I amplify her voice. I'm not making it seem like it's my words. It's her words. And if someone wanted me to speak on those things, I would send them to her, because she's the one who's saying the words. If you find yourself in a position where you're replicating a black woman's words for a space, then you're finding yourself not as an ally, because as an ally, you need to put her in that position. You need to, and I see people do this all the time. You need to be working yourself out of your position, because someone who is black should be engaging in their community, not you. If I'm talking to you and it rubs you the wrong way, if you feel that these words reflect on you, what are you doing about that? Respect black women. All of these things are aligned. Respect us. We don't feel respected often, so that would be a nice one. Okay, so this is for, I'm sorry, I forgot that part, hospitals and providers. So anybody who is in the medical field, birth workers as well, mostly if you're not black, but even if you are black, sometimes you can fall into the category of not doing these things. Use your privilege to support and uplift the marginalized people. Put yourself on the line. Take the risk. Sit down to have community conversations, to hear and reflect on what the community needs and wants, and include, oh, there's a typo there, include the community in the decision-making process. So I know black people of the community end up in some of these meetings, but I also know they're not being heard, or they're being talked down or talked over or dismissed. You need to figure out why that's happening and what you're doing about that. If the words coming out of my mouth make you uncomfortable, you have to deal with that. You have to. Otherwise, you're just going to keep making the same mistakes, and we're not going to get anywhere. Do this all the time. If you listen to the recording of the thing, I'm saying hold us accountable. Put a mirror to your face and ask yourself these questions. What am I doing? How am I impact? What is my intent versus my impact? I know I mean well, but listen, fuck mean well. Just fuck it. It's not enough. Your well intentions is not enough. My life is not going to be dependent on your well intentions. Let's move on from that. Your impact. Focus on your impact. What is that doing? Or should you be in that space? Do you deserve to be in that space? Do you have the right to be in that space? Is you being in that space violence towards the people in that community? Do they feel comfortable when you come into this space? When you, with your white skin, come into a black-centered space, do we then change the way we talk? Do we now have to err on the side of hurting your feelings? Do you use emotions and tears to justify or quantify your position on things? Focus on that. Ask a white person to help you with that, because I'm not for that. There's plenty of things out there for that. But you need to deal with that. You need to fairly deal with that. It's not on us. You need to still support that what we're saying is valid. Don't ask us, and also don't ask me how to say it. Don't treat me as if my words are violent towards you. That's not how that works. I'm gonna move on, okay? Inform all patients about their birthing options and the risks proposed, not from a basis of fear, but from an evidence-based approach. There's research out there. There's tons. Doctors still scare patients into making decisions because that's just how they function. We're not about that anymore. You need to work with the doulas. You need to promote informed decisions. Even if you disagree with it, you need to support them. And it's hard to say, I'm not talking about life or death, but I'm gonna tell you something. When I interviewed my child's first pediatrician, my oldest's first pediatrician, I was pregnant. I didn't know everything that I know now, and I walked in there, and I was very concerned about vaccinations and not doing vaccinations. I just thought the chickenpox vaccination was ridiculous at the time. I still do, but that's not the point of this. And I didn't say that exactly to her. I just said, I don't want my kid getting vaccines that are not life-threatening. You hear what I'm saying? Not life-threatening. And her response to me, a black pediatrician that I chose because her skin was black and because I was told that sometimes that's better to have someone who looks like me that can support my needs. She told me all of them are life-threatening. Now, as a blanket statement, that's bullshit. It's bullshit. So walking into a space, a medical place, and you just telling me a blanket statement like that, that's bullshit. Having a conversation and really explaining, well, not all of them are like little life-threatening means that if I catch this, I will die. The end. Not that there's a chance that I will die. That without treatment, I will die. It's not the same thing. A life-threatening disease means that it will cost me my life at a greater risk than not. So if you're a medical person telling someone that if they don't do something, they're going to die, and you don't back that up with some facts, you're full of shit. All right, sorry. I'm getting passionate, so it frustrates me. So I still stayed on with her for a little while longer, but that's just messed up because that happens so often. It happens. I don't have a direct example as a person, expectant person of someone who's about to birth, so I'm using that as my example. And I'm sure we all have examples. You can tell me your stories. I'm listening. Community members report mistreatment in writing to the hospital boards or to the state. This is where us black birthing families need to put on our white women voices. Okay. You have to tell. You feel mistreated, no matter how small it is. You need to put it in writing. Write a letter. Call this number, 1-800-792-9770. I'll say it one more time. 1-800-792-9770. Call them up. Report them. Names. What happened. How it made you feel. Report it. And if you don't feel heard in that situation, njbirthjustice@gmail.com will listen. Hey, you can post it on Facebook. Tag everybody. I don't care. Do it all. Do what makes you feel more comfortable, but get it out there. Tell a friend. Ask a friend to share it for you. We can maybe start a blog if somebody's interested in organizing it. I'm just the idea person. I can't execute everything. Of reports of things that are happening. They can be anonymous, but the words need to be there. You know? We need you to say it. Tell us. You can report good cases too. You can tell us what's good happening. Let's amplify the voices of the people who are actually doing what's working for our community. Tell us who saved your life, or tell us who made a real change in your life. We'll amplify those as well. It doesn't need to be just bad stuff. This is not all about highlighting the bad stuff. This is just about making sure that we are a community and living. Okay. Share where and when you were treated fairly so others can have models to follow. See, I'm ahead of myself. That's on there already. Hey, yo, let me know about your good pediatrician. You got a chiropractor that's black or not black that's treating you well? Tell us. That's what we do in conversation in general, but let's do it some more. Talk the good things up. Tell us who your doula was, how she rocked. Tell us all those things. We're listening to your stories. You can share them however you want. Just make sure that they get to us, New Jersey Birth Justice at Gmail. There's also njblackbirth at Gmail that you can email to. I'll let you know more about that in a later date. But we have the outlets, New Jersey Birth Justice at gmail.com, njbirthjustice at gmail.com. Please let us know. We're not, we're continuing the conversation. We're moving forward. I have high hopes for 2020. Get this shit popping off. I'm sorry for all the cursing. That's how I express myself. And ask questions, take notes, and be informed. I have a family friend who hits me up once in a while to ask me questions about her baby and what's going on, and I give her the answers that I feel she's looking for or will support her. I don't really ask her what she does in the end, but I'm just here. So just being informed. I like when other people in our community, another prospective IBCLC, heard me say something. Oh, well, I was chastising her about Nestle products or whatever, and she went and researched it. Like, she went and looked it up, and now she informed herself. Like, and I'm not trying to put the onus on you, but don't just think that things are going to magically happen. We have to be active, and you have support. You know, we're here. And if you want to be part of the change, you can let us know. So I hope that this was helpful. I see I'm at 46 minutes. I really planned to do like 3 quick minute videos, but I really wanted to just put it all out there and make sure that everything that we said was amplified and understood. I was going to try to do a moment of silence on this because I realized we left that out, but there's always next year. And but my kids are loud, so I can't expect them to join me in the moment of silence. So if you want, after when this video is over, if you want to take a moment of silence and acknowledge all of the black infants and black mothers who we have lost, not just in New Jersey in general, that is something that I urge you to do. I will pause for a second and not talk, and you can utilize this type of time to do that for yourself. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you for listening and making it to the end. I know it was long. Enjoy your day.